Hello everyone, this is my channel Learn Web Technologies. Today we will talk about CSS align, like horizontally or vertically align. Firstly, we will talk about center align property. To horizontally center a block element like div, use margin. Just use a div tag. Here you can add this is a div tag, and in CSS you just apply. You can add a class here, class with a specified name center, and just add a center here. For that you can do a border 3px solid red padding 10px width 50% and margin is auto. For margin auto, it will allow to the center. Setting the width of the element will prevent it from stretching out to the edges of its container. The element will taken up the specified width and the remaining space will be split equally between the two margins, this space. Okay, here is a note. Center line has no effect if the width property is not set or set to 100%. If we are adding to a, we are not mentioning a width property here, then it will nothing effect, like no margin is. If you are adding 100%, then again it's no effect of the margin. Okay, now I'm just adding a 50%. Now, if you want this text in a center, for that, what you can do, you can just add a text line property, save and then refresh. Okay, if you want an image in a center, for that, what you can do, image is inline element. Image is an inline element. Okay, just refresh this image. For image, you can apply all this. To But this div not coming in the center. Why this is happening? Because imagine an inline element. For inline element, what you have to write, you can add it to the block level element. Now it will come in a center. You can do is the height is 200 px. Just save and refresh. Okay, and just run. So this is the basically center and image, center and div, etc. etc. Now, if you want a left and right align using position, for that, what we can do, we are just adding a p tag here and just inside this and commenting this image tag. Okay, for center, you are just adding a right here, right, because you want a right, so you have to specify some class that significant to the user and to you only. Border 50, margin is, you can remove margin, you can remove this, and you can add float right. Okay, just save and refresh. Now it is coming to the right side. Okay, this is basically a float property. If you want to like a position using position, position is also doing the same thing, whatever the float element. For position, you just add an absolute property and right is 0. Just save and refresh. It's also coming in this side. When you are using an absolute element are removed from the normal flow, it will a normal flow, like if you are adding element here, it will come below the div element. But when you are applying the absolute position, then it will destroy the normal flow and can overlap element. Sometimes it can overlap element. Using float also, you already see the float property. You can use, instead of this, you can use float right also. That is also giving the same output. But in float, there is something, sometimes if an element is taller than the elements containing it, it is floated, it will overflow outside of its container. So you can use the clear fix hack to fix this. You can I already clearx, I studied in my last video, css float video for clear fix hacks. I will mention that video link in description box. So now you want center vertically using padding, this vertically align. For that, what you can do, basically there are many ways to center an element vertically in CSS. Simple ways is to use padding top and bottom in p tag. In right tag, you just remove everything, okay, and just adding padding 7 ppx top and bottom and just save. Now it come in a center. If you want this in a center, then you can apply this CSS excellent center, so it will come in the center. Okay, center vertically using line height. You can use line height instead of padding. You just add a line height. It is 150 px, and height is also, you can do 150 px. Just save and then refresh. In this, it's coming little bit down because p tag is containing some margin, so you can remove margin from p tag, then it will contain in a center using line height. Okay, if the text has multiple lines, this is a single line text, that is fine. If a text has multiple lines, then add the following lines. Let's suppose you have a multiple lines text. Just save and then refresh. Now it's not coming in the center. For that, what you can do is you can add a line height here is 1.5 and display align block and vertical align middle. Just save and then refresh. Now it will come in the center. If float property will not work and this line height is not work, padding is not work, then how you can do is a center line. For that, we can use a position and transform property. Okay, so you can add here, this height is 150 px and position is relative. Position relative is mandatory here. Okay, nothing is mandatory except position relative. And in p tag, what you can do is you can do add position absolute and top 50 px 50% and left 50% and transform property translate minus 50% comma minus 50%. So this all property is mandatory for center align. Just save and then refresh. Basically, this content is too big, so you can add is a 450 height here. Now you can see the actual output. This content is coming in the center. If you want any div in a center, then you can apply this method. Basically, this is the interview questions. If you are giving some interview, so you can show this method to the interviewer for always asking this question about add a vertically align a div or a text. So that's all for today. Thank you guys for listening. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you guys. Have a good day.